Good morning, everyone. I will be assisting Dr. Liu today. She is having some technical issues. Can you all hear me okay? Yes, okay. So the title of the study, or the pilot study that she was doing, was using YouTube's What Would You Do to teach pragmatics and semiotics for social justice and teacher education. And Dr. Liu is a full professor at Valdosta State University in Valdosta, Georgia. So just to give you all a little bit of background on the study, some of the topics that are covered in the courses for the students that were participating in this study were semiotics. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with semiotics, it's the study of signs and symbols and how they're used and interpreted. And so you can see in this figure on the bottom that a sign is anything that conveys meaning. And then we have a signifier, which can take the form of a word, image, shape, or sound to signify a mental concept that might come to mind. So in this study, the students or the participants had to utilize semiotics to interpret their understanding of the material that was given to them in the study. Another thing that we touch on in the class is pragmatics. So pragmatics is the use of languages for communication. And so the context is that learners have to learn what should be said in different contexts and environments. And then after that, they have to learn how to encode what's being said to perform language function. So these are two of the things we kind of touch on with the students. So there are two difficulties in the field of pragmatics. The first is socio-pragmatic failure. And this is when learners produce socially inappropriate behavior. And you'll see why this is relevant in a moment. And then there's also pragmatic linguistic failure, which is when learners do not express themselves in a linguistically appropriate manner. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the background of the study. So I don't know if you all are familiar with Chris Whipple. He is the creator of What Would You Do? He was also a former producer for CBS News. He's a noted journalist as well as a documentary filmmaker. So he originally created the television series What Would You Do? Some of you may have seen this on the news, but it was a series that was broadcasted from 2008 to 2020. And I think it stopped before when COVID hit, but it was broadcasted for a good 16 seasons. And so you may recognize this man. His name is John Quinones. He's the host of What Would You Do? So he's the one that he's in all of the episodes. So essentially, in this television series, the actors will act out scenes of conflict in public settings. And then they'll have hidden cameras actually record the scene. So the interesting thing about this series is that it mainly deals with controversial themes like prejudice, disability, homelessness, social status. It really puts out these different complex, conflicting situations. And even more, sometimes what they'll do is they'll actually introduce variations in some of the actors and how they're doing things. So there'll be variations in gender, race, the clothing, just to see how the bystanders that are, looking on in these scenes will intervene and how that will change. So really this television series is a good way to teach diversity. So this is just an example, and let me see if it'll play, of one of the videos. I don't know if it'll load. It's loading before. I guess we could go back. Okay, there it goes.
I'm playing the Middle Eastern victim. And all of the faces promoting him. I am the biggest. Our phone matter. I don't want terrorists touching my phone and taking my order. Okay. A member of the U.S. Army steps up to the counter. Hey, this guy's Muslim. Is he laughing? Why's that funny? Unroll. This guy's a Muslim. Aren't you fighting against these guys? I don't think he should be working here. He doesn't follow orders. I'd like orders approved, just not from you, okay? Want me to leave this place?
That's the reason I want to be here. So anyone can be free of stuff. Leave the man alone. Buy your stuff.
Time to tell this soldier this is one battle he no longer has to fight. Oh, yes, sir.
So that is the first example, and there's several videos that deal with similar issues. So this is another one.
Not in Mexico. This is America. You're gonna have to speak in English. English, I will help you.
If you overheard this waitress refusing to serve them, they offer you anything now. Yeah, yes, dude. What would you do? Our hidden cameras are rolling at the Airmont Diner in Suffolk, New York.
Hi. You guys ready? I'm sorry, what? Lemonade? You want lemonade? Oh, water with ice. Thank you.
Our waitress brings that water.
Here's your water. Okay. Give me water in English, please. This is in Mexico.
And as soon as she makes that demand, this customer jumps in to act as a translator.
You don't have to get involved. This is my job.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, we'll have a hard time over there.
Well, yeah, I just don't know what they're saying. I mean, they just need to speak in English.
He stays calm and respectful as he tries to get his point across.
If I don't speak Spanish, what should I do?
Well, I'm trying to help you and help him at the same time.
Okay. Yeah.
He's translating now. Do you like that cheeseburger deluxe? Yeah, well, 2 Pepsis. And his kindness doesn't stop there.
Yeah.
I'll take care of the Time to introduce ourselves. Gary asked you, what would you do? You were so gentle to them and the waitress. This is who I am. That could help. And to those who say, they should learn English, this is America. You read, I read. You sleep, I sleep. What's the difference? Just the language.
Okay. So those are just some examples of the episodes, and the students were actually allowed to select the episodes that they wanted to watch. And so we had 120 teacher candidates roughly in 4 sections of EDUC 2120, the online course. It was experiencing sociocultural perspectives on diversity is the name of the course. And so we had 120 of these teacher candidates go to YouTube and actually select some of these episodes to watch. And some of the episodes, if you go on there, you'll notice that they may not necessarily pertain to a social or cultural issue. So we had students, we made sure that the students were selecting episodes that were related to a social or cultural issue. And so following the assignment, the participants were asked to write a 2-page reflection on the episodes that they watched, and also complete a 5-question survey with Likert scale questions. So again, this was really a pilot study just to see how students responded to this assignment, just to see if this is something that would be a viable initiative to implement in a future course. And so it looks like based on some of these results, the students really enjoyed the assignment. They felt that it was effective in helping them to learn about some of the things that we discuss in the class. What we concluded was that the use of this YouTube video series, What Would You Do, would be an effective and successful method of teaching these undergraduate teacher candidates in the program about not just pragmatics and not just semiotics, but teaching them about cultural diversity and these social cultural issues. So this is something that we're going to still explore in the future, but it seems that the students really responded well to it. So thank you all so much.